Okay, so it's November and pears have been on special here in Quebec for the past week or so, week and a half. And I bought 6 pounds of pears right at the beginning of when they went on sale. And I didn't buy them too ripe. Kind of bought them like still greenish, ripe, but not underripe or overripe. Because I didn't know if I would have time to get to making this. Now I'm making pear compote. I think it would be called a compote. It's basically diced pears and sugar with warm spices. And you can put that like over ice cream or over cheese or over toast. It's just really nice. And when I made it the first time, everyone loved it. So I've been on repeat for this. So yeah, 6 pounds of pears. When I first pulled up my recipe, I was like, really 6 pounds of pears? It sounds like so much, but it's really not. And actually, I just went over 6 pounds of pears because once I take off the core, I need it to be 6 pounds. Okay, now that I've said 6 pounds enough times, I'm going to move on to the spices. So I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of clove, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cardamom, because cardamom can be quite overpowering, but it pairs wonderfully with pears. I've got a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 cup of granulated sugar, and a 50 gram packet of crystallized pectin. Now that's it. It's not that many ingredients, and this is really not hard to make. I'm going to first get on to peeling these pears, and then I'm going to cube them, and then put them in the pot to start cooking with the pectin and some water. And then after that, I'll be adding the sugar and the spices. I'm a bit of a disorganized, sometimes a lot of a disorganized person when it comes to cooking and recipes. So it's nice presentation to lay out my ingredients like this, but some days I'm more scattered than others. And so I actually laid them out like this for myself to make sure that I have everything that I need and everything else is put away. The bottles are put away, like everything is cleaned up, and I only have out what I need. So, what I could do with these spices now, since they're going to go in at the same time as the sugar, is I'm actually just going to dump them straight away into the sugar and wash this plate. The vanilla extract, I will wait because I'll put it in at the end. So now on with it. I'm going to start peeling these pears. Okay, a bit of a side note here. I just made myself a great lemon and honey tea. And I lit a candle because sometimes canning can stress you out, even if you're doing one that is delicious and everyone loves. You have other things to get on with the day, and it could just feel like a lot of pressure. And so to make a nice, peaceful, enjoyable space out of it, it's as simple as like just lighting a candle, making yourself a nice cup of tea, and having that while you do your canning, because it shouldn't be a stressful process. It should be a pleasant one. I might even go crazy and put on some holiday music, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe just instrumental. I'm not quite ready for Mariah Carey season. All right, the pears are cored, peeled, and cubed into about dice size pieces. They are going to shrink while they're being cooked down. You could make them smaller, you could make them bigger. This is the size that I like because they will soften and become creamier while they're cooking. And I do like to have some texture to my compote and not just have it like a pear butter or anything. So I'm going to drain this, but I'm not going to let it drip dry because whatever water is left on the actual pears is going to help boil them. I'm going to put these in a pot, and so I'm going to go on to the next step. All right, so here they are drained and in the pot. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention earlier was I do have a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and that's because I'm going to be water bath canning them. And just the 1 cup of sugar to 6 pounds of pears is not enough acidity. So I'm adding 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And here is 3/4 cups of water with my pectin. This is just the recipe as per the box's instructions. So adding that in. Right now I've turned the stove on to a medium-low heat, and I'm gonna stir and watch this because I definitely don't want these to burn. I want them to start releasing their own juices and to start boiling in that. I'm just looking here, and you can't really tell in the video, but I know that the pectin has dissolved enough. So this is where I'm gonna add my spices and my sugar. So I'm just gonna put it straight in and give it a good stir. A lot easier to get this incorporated if I have 2 hands, so I'm going to put the phone down. Yeah, I almost forgot. Now that the pears have been given off some of their juices, I am going to add the vanilla. Looks and smells and tastes amazing. Next step is I'm going to get a potato masher and just press these down a little bit, get it more smooth and less chunks. Just get them incorporated better into the sauce, and then continue cooking them until the pears are soft. Not mushy, but just softer than crunchy. So I'm just mashing it down a little bit. I'm not going to get everything mashed, but just enough so that I get a thick sauce in there. So this is really amazing on anything like sweet or even savory. Like you could put it on a cheese platter with some brie, or like a nice salty hard cheese like Parmesan, and you could put this on bread with it. But you could also serve this with pork roast, which goes amazing with pork roast. I don't know if you've ever had pear with pork roast. It's, in my opinion, better than applesauce with pork roast. But then you could also obviously put it over pancakes, or you could put it over vanilla ice cream. There's so many ways to use this. In fact, you can even use the sauce in a cocktail. Okay, it's ready to put into jars. I know that because of the texture. So with this, it's not like it's a determined amount of time. It really comes down to the texture that you want, but you want to be sure at least that your pears are cooked through, that they're not super crunchy like a raw pear. And also when you press your spoon down, everything slowly mounds into it. So it's not thin like a broth, it's not thick like, I don't know, like a jam or something. It's not like spoonable, like where it's just gonna sit in there, but yeah, soft like applesauce. So anyways, this is ready now, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into my clean jars, and I am going to water bath process them to make them shelf stable. And I don't know, maybe I'll give some away, maybe I'll have it for myself. Inch of headspace on the jars. As I've been filling it or like scooping it up, I make sure to give it a stir. That way I don't get like uneven consistency. I want a equal amount of pears and the sauce in each jar. Now I'm gonna clean, actually I'm gonna put the phone down because I'm gonna start cleaning these lids as well. I just have a cotton cloth soaked in vinegar, and I'm gonna wipe the rims off to make sure there's no debris and cover them as I go. I don't want to leave these uncovered for too long. All right, so it's finished. I water bathed these for 10 minutes. I didn't film it because there's a million water bath canning videos out there. So basically I put these in water and got it to a rolling boil, and kept it in the rolling boil for 10 minutes, and took them out. And they're just cooling off. They've already sealed, actually. They sealed pretty quick. Anyhow, so that's it. They're done. They're so easy, and I cannot wait to have them later in the season. I'm thinking definitely with cheese. I don't know. I'm just craving cheese and a baguette right now with this. All right. If you enjoyed, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if you've had this before, what you would have it with. And also, yeah, tell me what you would do with those pear cores and the peels that I had left over. Because, yeah, I just don't want to waste. Okay, thanks for watching.